Good morning, dear students. Welcome to our zoology online class. Already we have completed 6 lessons. The last class we completed the 6th lesson. So today we are going to start the next lesson, 7th lesson. Our lesson's title is Human Health and Disease. Okay, Human Health and Disease. Say. So before start this lesson, first you should understand the definition for two important words. Okay, you should understand the meaning of the word health and the meaning of the word disease. So first I explain the meaning of the word health. See, health means is a state or condition of complete physical, mental and social well-being. Health meaning the state of complete physical, mental and social well-being or absence of disease. So this condition is called health. This condition is called health. Then the meaning of the second word disease. Disease meaning is a disorder. Okay, disease may be defined as it's a disorder or malfunctions of our body or mind. Okay, so disease meaning is the disorder or malfunction of our body or mind is called disease. Okay, my dear students, so now you understood the meaning of the both word health and disease. See, maximum due to some environmental factors or due to some genetic problems. Okay, due to some environmental factors or genetic problems or due to some pathogenic microorganism, our body is totally disturbed. Physically, mentally and psychologically our body is disturbed. So this condition is also called disease. So because of some environmental factors or pathogenic microorganism or some genetic problem or changes in our lifestyle, our body is disturbed. Body is physically, mentally and psychologically disturbed. This condition is called disease. Understand, my dear students? Then, see, and the diseases are classified into two major categories or two major types. Okay, the first one is called infectious disease and the second one is called non-infectious disease. The first disease is called infectious disease and the second one is called, the second type is called non-infectious disease. Here these infectious diseases are otherwise called communicable diseases because these diseases can be transmitted from one person to another person. Okay, so the infectious disease can transmit from one person to another person, so that really this disease is also known as communicable diseases. And maximum these diseases are caused by bacteria or virus or protozoans. Okay, so these microorganisms only causing these infectious diseases. And maximum these microorganisms causing these diseases through food, water or air. Okay, so through the food or water or air, these microorganisms are spreading to one person to another person. Understand a few? Or sometimes the microorganism can transmit from one person to another person through physical contact. Understand a few? So here infectious diseases otherwise called communicable diseases because these diseases can transfer or transmit from one person to another person. Maximum these diseases are caused by bacteria or virus or protozoan species, and these diseases are spreading through water or food or physical contact. Understand a few? Then next one, second type is called non-infectious diseases. Second type is called non-infectious diseases. Non-infectious diseases means some diseases are not transfer or not transmit from one person to another person. It's not spread from one person to another person. So these diseases are called non-infectious diseases. These diseases are called non-infectious diseases. So the reason for these diseases, reason for these non-communicable diseases is, see, or non-infectious diseases, genetic factors, genetic reason. Example, cystic fibrosis. Okay, cystic fibrosis is a disease due to some damages in the genes. Okay, so these diseases may be due to some genetic factors or nutritional deficiency. Okay, or nutritional deficiency or some degenerative conditions. So the non-infectious diseases or the non-communicable diseases are due to some reasons. What are the reasons I said? The first reason is what reason I said. So some diseases are affected because of some genetic problem. Example, cystic fibrosis. Some diseases are affected because of some nutritional deficiency. Okay, and some some diseases affecting the human beings because of some degenerative condition. Example, this arthritis, heart attack, stroke. These are the example for the degenerative disorders. Understand? So now we have completed two important categories of the diseases. So the first category is called infectious disease, otherwise called communicable diseases. That means the diseases which can spread from one person to another person. Then the second type of disease is called non-infectious diseases. That means the diseases which cannot transfer or spread from one person to another person is called non-infectious diseases. Understand, my students? Then listen very carefully. Already I told you the diseases are affecting the human beings maximum by some microorganisms. The microorganisms may be bacteria or virus or protozoal species. Okay, so today we are going to study about some bacterial and viral diseases. Bacterial and viral diseases. Maximum the bacterial diseases are, there are large number of bacterial species are living in the world. But some bacterial species only causing diseases to the human beings. Because many beneficial or useful bacteria are also there. So some bacterial species causing some diseases to human beings, so that bacteria are called infectious bacteria. That diseases are called infectious bacteria. Okay, then say these bacterial diseases may be curable. Maximum we can cure the bacterial diseases by taking proper treatment. So the bacterial diseases, there are large different types of species are there. Few bacterial species only causing diseases to the human beings. Okay, so these bacteria are called pathogenic bacteria, and some bacterial disease, maximum bacterial diseases can be cured. We can cure by using some proper treatment. Understand a few? Then viral disease. Normally the virus are very smaller than the bacterial species. Viruses are very small than the bacteria, and they are intracellular obligate parasite. Viral species are otherwise called intracellular obligate parasite, meaning so the virus can live only inside a living cell. Outside the living cell, it can act as a non-living things. So when the viral species living inside the cell, they are acting as a living things, and outside the cell they are acting as a non-living things. Understand a few? And inside the cells only they are multiplying and producing large number of young ones. Once one virus is entered inside our body cell, inside the cells only they are producing their young ones or progenies. And finally they break down that cell and spreading to next cell or moving to next cell, and the next cells also infected. Understand a few? And maximum the viral diseases are incurable. Okay, for example, AIDS. AIDS is one of the very dangerous virus disease. So this disease is an incurable disease because no medicine for this AIDS disease. Understand a few? Then, based on the symptoms, the viral diseases are classified into 4 types. The first type is called pneumotrophic disease. Okay, so based on the symptoms, the viral diseases are classified into 4 types. The first one is called pneumotrophic disease. Then the second one is called dermotrophic. Okay, so the second type of viral disease is called dermotrophic disease. Okay, then the third one is called visotrophic. Okay, visotrophic disease. Then last one is called neurotrophic. Understand a few? So pneumotrophic disease, dermotrophic disease, visotrophic disease, and neurotrophic disease. Here Pneumotrophic disease meaning the diseases which are affecting our respiratory systems are called pneumotrophic disease. Okay. Example we can say influenza. Examples we can say influenza. Then second one is called dermatrophic disease. Here dermatrophic disease means diseases affecting the skin and subcutaneous tissues. Okay, below the skin one layer is there, it is called cutaneous layer. So this cutaneous layer is made up of many tissues. So these diseases affecting the skin and cutaneous tissue. Example chickenpox and measles. Example chickenpox and measles. Then third one is viscerotrophic disease. Viscerotrophic disease means this disease affecting the internal organs. Okay. For example, yellow fever. Yellow fever is the example for viscerotrophic disease. Understand of you? Then the last one is neurotrophic disease. Neurotrophic disease meaning disease affecting our nervous system. Example polio. Understand my dear students? So this is one of the very important 3-mark question. So based on the symptoms, the viral diseases are classified into 4 major types. They are called, the first one is pneumotrophic disease affecting the respiratory system, dermatrophic disease affecting the skin, then viscerotrophic disease affecting the internal organ, the neurotrophic disease affecting the nervous system or central nervous system. Understand my dear students? Understand? So I hope you all understood all these points. Okay. So here we have studied one important 3-mark questions, then 2 2-mark questions also. 2-mark questions, the definition for the bad health and the definition for the bad disease. These two are the 2-mark questions, and 4 types of viral diseases, very important 3-mark question. Understand my dear students? Okay, listen. In your book, 2 tabular columns are there. So the first tabular column, some diseases, some bacterial diseases are explained. Disease name, causative organism, site of infection, then symptoms. So these are explained in the first tabular column. Then the second tabular column, viral diseases. Example for some viral diseases. Here also viral disease, causative organism, site of infection and mode of infection, then gain symptoms. Okay, so these are the some of the points mentioned in both tabular column. Okay, so now we are going to study about these diseases, both the bacterial and viral diseases, one by one. Okay, my dear students, see the first disease is called, so first we are going to study about the bacterial diseases. Okay, so the first disease is called shigellosis. Okay, shigellosis, otherwise called bacillary dysentery. So the causative organism of this disease is called Shigella species. Okay, shigellosis, otherwise called bacillary dysentery. The causative organism of this disease is called Shigella species. Then site of infection. So this disease affecting our intestine. Okay, this disease affecting our intestine. Then mode of transmission. Mode of transmission meaning how this disease is spreading. See, food and water contaminated by feces or fecal oral route. So contaminated food and water. Here contaminated food and water meaning food and water with this bacterial species is called contaminated food and water. Or by feces meaning motions. Okay, so human waste. Then symptoms of this disease: abdominal pain, dehydration, blood and mucus in the stool. Here dehydration meaning loss of water. Stool, then blood and mucus in the stool. Here stool means human waste. Okay, so through the human waste more amount of blood and mucus is releasing. Understand my dear students? Then second disease is called bubonic plague. Example for the second bacterial disease is bubonic plague, otherwise called black death. The causative organism is Yersinia pestis. Then site of infection. This disease affecting the lymph node. Lymph node means it is one of the important organ of our immune system. So the lymph node is affected. Then mode of transmission. So this disease is transferred through a vector. Okay, through a vector. So name of this vector is called Synopsilochopsis. Okay, then symptoms. See, fever, headache and swollen lymph node. Okay, fever, headache and swollen lymph node are the symptoms of this disease. Then the next disease is diphtheria. Okay, diphtheria. So the causative organism of this disease is Corynebacterium diphtheriae. And the site of infection, larynx, skin. Larynx is one of the important part of our respiratory system. Then skin, nasal and genital passage. Nasal means through the nose, and genital meaning here the reproductive organ. So these areas are affected. Then droplet infection. Droplet infection meaning the water drops released from the mouth of the infected person. Okay, so any healthy person inhale this droplet, that healthy person is also affected. Okay, my dear students, then the symptoms: fever, sore throat, then hoarseness and difficulties in breathing. Then the fourth disease is cholera. Causative organism, Vibrio cholerae. Then this disease affecting our intestine, and the transmission contaminated food and water or fecal or oral route. Severe diarrhea and dehydration. Then the fifth disease is tetanus. Clostridium tetani. Then spasm of muscles. Okay, spasm of muscles. Here spasm means in Tamil we can say pidippu, thasai pidippu. Okay, then through wound infection. Okay, through wound it is word spreading. Then symptoms: rigidity of jaw muscles. Rigidity meaning tightness. Our jaw muscles are tightness. Then increased heartbeat rate and spasm of muscles of the jaw and face. Then next disease, sixth disease is, sixth example, typhoid. Salmonella typhi is the causative organism. Then site infection, intestine. Then this disease also spreading through the contaminated food and water. Then headache, abdominal discomfort, fever and diarrhea are the symptoms of this typhoid disease. Then the seventh disease is pneumonia. Streptococcus pneumonia is the causative organism affecting the lungs. Then this disease spread through the droplet infection. Then the symptoms: fever, cough, painful breathing and brown sputum. Sputum means in Tamil we can say chali. Then last disease is tuberculosis. And this disease is caused by a bacterium. Name of the bacterium is called Mycobacterium tuberculosis. This disease affecting lungs and spreading through the droplet infection. Then the symptoms: thick mucopleural nasal discharge. From the nose, very thick pus or sputum is releasing. Okay, my dear students. So now we have studied 8 examples for bacterial disease. 8 examples for bacterial disease. Togetherly, this bacterial disease may be asked for 5 mark question, or sometimes the causative organisms names and the site of infections are 1 mark questions. Okay, may be asked for 1 mark questions. So the causative organism of this disease is very, very important for 1 mark question. Understand, my dear students? Okay. Now we are going to study about some examples, 8 examples for viral disease. See, the first viral disease is common cold. Okay, the first viral disease is common cold. The causative organism is rhinovirus, and this disease affecting our respiratory system, and this disease is transferred through the droplet infections. Then symptoms of this disease: nasal congestion, that means the nasal cavity is blocked, and discharge means pus is released from the nose. Then sore throat, cough and headache. These are the other symptoms of this disease. Okay, my dear students. Then second disease is mumps. Causative agent mumps virus. Then this disease affecting the salivary gland. Then Mode of transmission, saliva and droplet infection, and the symptom, enlargement of parotid gland. Okay, here parotid gland is a gland present in the buccal cavity. Okay, so this gland is affected. Then the third example for the viral disease is measles, causative organism, rubella virus. Then this disease affecting the skin and respiratory system, transfer through the droplet infection, symptoms, sore throat, running nose, cough, fever, reddish rashes on the skin, neck and ear. So in the neck region, ear region, the skin present in the neck region and ear region, some reddish colors appearance are there. Then the fourth example, viral hepatitis, causative organism, hepatitis B virus. Then this disease affecting the liver. Then transmission, this disease is transferred through the parental route. That means from the parent, from the mother to fetus it can transfer, or blood transfusion. Then symptoms, liver damage, jaundice, nausea meaning vomiting sensation, yellowish eye, then fever and pain in the abdomen. These are the symptoms of this hepatitis disease. Then the fifth example for the viral disease is chickenpox, causative organism, varicella, and this disease affecting the respiratory system, skin and nervous system. Then droplet transmission, droplet infection and direct contact. Then symptoms, mild fever with itchy skin, rash and blisters. Then the sixth disease, poliomyelitis, causative organism, poliovirus, infection area, intestine, brain and spinal cord. Then mode of transmission, droplet infection through fecal oral route. Then symptoms, fever, muscular stiffness meaning muscle tightness, then weakness, paralysis and respiratory failure. Okay, paralysis meaning in Tamil we can say செயலிழப்பு. Then seventh example for viral disease is dengue fever, causative organism, dengue virus, and affecting skin and blood, then transfer through a vector. Okay, so one mosquito species is acting as a vector, or the mosquito species carrying or transferring this dengue fever. So the name of the mosquito is Aedes aegypti. Then symptom, severe flu look like illness with a sudden onset of fever, painful headache, muscles and joint pain. So these are the symptoms of dengue fever. Then the last example for this viral disease is chikungunya, causative organism, alpha virus, affecting the nervous system. Then this chikungunya also a vector-borne disease. So here also the same mosquito species, Aedes aegypti, is the the vector of this disease. Okay, vector of this disease. Then the symptoms, fever, joint pain, headache and joint swelling. Okay, so these are the symptoms of this chikungunya disease. Understand, my dear students? So here also all these diseases may be asked for 5 mark question, and the causative agent, then the site of infection are very important 1 mark question. Okay, then the dengue fever and chikungunya, the vector names. Okay, the vector names of dengue fever and chikungunya. So this is also one of the very important 1 mark question. Understand, my dear students? So I hope you all understood all these questions, all these diseases. So now we have completed 8 bacterial diseases and 8 viral diseases. Understand, all of you? So all study, and this is very important for 5 mark question. Okay, my dear students, we will meet in the next class. Thank you.